The New Orleans Saints are off of the practice field here on Thursday. We are still waiting on the San Francisco 49ers version of the injury report. Let me quickly, though, run through what we know for New Orleans. There's a smidge of good news herein. Taliese Fuaga, who injured his knee on Sunday, did not practice Wednesday, was on the field in a limited capacity on Thursday. That's the really good news. That means he's trending toward being available. We'll see what happens on Friday. The not-so-great news is that your other two starters here, Trevor Penning and Chase Young, again, did not practice. Neither played Sunday, neither practiced Wednesday, neither practiced on Thursday. Also unfortunate, a change in one of the designations is Zach Wood, the long snapper. He was limited on Wednesday with an elbow injury. He did not practice on Thursday. Now, you would think, again, maybe foolishly, but you would think you give Zach Wood a few days, just rest, heal that thing up a little bit. You can get out there and throw the ball between your legs a couple times. Well, with the Saints team, maybe like 7 times. But other than that, we'll see. I'm being presumptive. Velus Jones was limited. Jordan Howden was a full participant. And Julian Blackmon, of course, did not participate again as he's out with the shoulder injury. It's likely going to cost him a season. We knew that. So, again, the big news, Penning and Young still out. Fuaga upgraded to a limited participant, could very well be trending toward playing. We're going to wait and see what the designations are for the 49ers when their official injury report comes out after they finish practice here on Thursday. But the news that came Thursday morning from Ian Rapoport of NFL Media was the news that a lot of 49er people for the 49er circles were not looking forward to hearing about quarterback Brock Purdy.
And telling reporters yesterday that Brock Purdy is a long shot to play this week. It could be a multiple-week injury. My understanding is that Brock Purdy is out 2 to 5 weeks. 2 to 5 weeks for Brock Purdy with what is essentially a variant of turf toe. It is a ligament injury that affects the bottom of his foot. Call it turf toe if you want. That's basically what Kyle Shanahan has said. But 2 to 5 weeks for Brock Purdy, which would put him out at least the Saints game this week, the Cardinals game next week, and then we'll see. It is swollen. It is irritated. No one knows how it's going to react, but certainly it seems like the 49ers are looking at probably 2 starts for Mac Jones, their backup quarterback, and maybe more. And it's been tough early on for the 49ers, guys. I mean, obviously you had the Christian McCaffrey minor injury to start out. Week 1, he ended up playing. You have George Kittle on IR with a hamstring injury, another battery of injury for the 49ers. A lot of challenges early on.
Okay, so that was Ian Rapoport of NFL Media giving the update. So 2 to 5 weeks for Purdy. I don't really care what happens with Brock Purdy the rest of the season. What I care about is Sunday in the Dome against the Saints, and he is going to be out, according to that report, this Sunday, meaning the Saints will prepare for Mac Jones. That San Francisco offense is very shorthanded, and this is a great benefit to the New Orleans Saints. Remember a few years ago, the Saints caught a break. When they played the Giants, they got to face Dammy Gauntlets. Remember that? They also, when they faced the Bears, they got to face, who was the kid from Eastern Brock University? What was his name?
Tyson Bagent.
Him, that guy. They got to face him. Remember, there was like a handful of games where the Saints kept facing backups because guys kept getting injured. Maybe this is one where you catch a break because it seems like you're not going to have to face Purdy. You're going to face Mac Jones. And I want to remind you, do you remember the last time the Saints faced Mac Jones? Saints faced Mac Jones in 2023 when he was the starting quarterback in New England. It was his 3rd year, which ended up being his final year in New England. Mac Jones, the Saints won that game 34-0. If you remember that game, it was early season. It was October the 8th in New England. Mac Jones was 12 of 22 for 110 yards, no touchdowns, 2 picks, got benched at halftime for Bailey Zappi. Tyrann Mathieu had a pick 6 at the start of the game to open up the scoring. And as you mentioned, ultimately they brought in Bailey Zappi to play the second half, and it wasn't any better. The Saints blew the doors off of New England that day. So now that was a different Saints defense, obviously different Saints team altogether a couple of years ago. But Saints have seen Mac Jones, and it was in New England, and it didn't go great for Mac Jones. The thing about San Francisco is this San Francisco offense is gutted. Brock Purdy's out. George Kittle's on IR. Brandon Aiyuk, remember, tore his ACL and his MCL last year in Week 7. He's still not back yet. So And Deebo Samuel was traded this offseason. He's going to play Thursday Night Football for Washington, catch a pass from Jay Daniels. So no Samuel, no Aiyuk, no Kittle, no Purdy. You have Christian McCaffrey back, and he was awesome. He had over 140 yards from scrimmage this past weekend in the opener against Seattle. But that was not a great day offensively for San Francisco in that opener against Seattle. Now, it was on the road. It was on the road in Seattle, and this is on the road in New Orleans. But the Saints have hardly been a solid home team over the last 3 seasons. The dome field advantage has been all but gone. But the Niners won that game on the road, scoring only 17 points, and that's the cautionary tale, is that the Niners went on the road with that defense and held Seattle in their home stadium to 13 points. That was Sam Darnold. That was Jackson Smith and Jigba, Zach Charbonnet, some good young players offensively there. But Seattle only managed 13 points on their home field in that game. Now for New Orleans, can they move the ball against the San Francisco defense? Robert Saleh is back in San Francisco, and he is a great defensive mind. It didn't work out with him as a head coach of the Jets, but he is a great defensive coordinator. That is objectively true. They held Seattle to 230 yards and 13 points on their home field. What do we realistically think New Orleans might be able to do with a rookie left tackle, an injured Taliese Fuaga, Dylan Radins replacing Trevor Penning at left guard, Cesar Ruiz, who might be the worst starting offensive guard in the NFL, at right guard. You don't really have a true tight end, and you're starting Spencer Rattler. I don't know that I'm bullish on the New Orleans Saints offense getting going against the San Francisco defense, which, by the way, Spencer Rattler was asked about that Niners defense when he met with reporters on Wednesday after practice.
Very fast. I mean, a lot of speed on the field. They get the sideline to sideline really well. Obviously, Fred Warner, best in the league, one of the best in the league, super smart guy. We're going to have to prepare for him. And obviously, Bosa on the edge, got to have a game plan for him. So, we got to put in a good plan this week. We had a great day today starting out, this Wednesday, and got to keep building, day by day up to the game.
It's going to be a really tough challenge, but this feels like one of those games where offense is probably going to be hard to come by just by virtue of the fact that San Francisco's defense is exceptional and the Saints' offense is not. And when you flip it, the San Francisco offense, even though they have a brilliant offensive coach in Kyle Shanahan, who turned Brock Purdy into a $50 million quarterback and went to a Super Bowl with Brock Purdy with Jimmy G. He's a fantastic offensive coach. He just doesn't have the tools in the chest here to really get going against the Saints defense that I thought played pretty well on Sunday this past week in the opener against Arizona. They gave their team a chance to get in there and win the football game when they started getting stops, in the second half. So probably a low-scoring game this Sunday in the Superdome with the Saints and the Niners. For whatever it's worth, that line opened at 7.5. It's all the way down to 3.5. The total is at 40.5. So Vegas is looking like a 2017 type game. That's kind of what they're projecting right there. Something along those lines. 21-17, something like that for Saints and 49ers. But see if this offense can get going against a really good San Francisco defense, because they'll have an opportunity. I mean, this is one where I certainly didn't give New Orleans much of a chance of winning. I thought that the first two at home, you had a better chance of beating Arizona than you did of beating San Francisco. Well, that's changed because of all the injuries with San Francisco. If Purdy and Kittle and everybody was healthy, it's a completely different story. I don't even think this is a ball game. You have a chance to get this one, because I don't think you're going to Seattle and winning. I don't think you're going to Buffalo and winning. So getting this one on Sunday is the difference between starting 1-3 and starting 0-4. So see if the Saints can get this one, be a little bit more than competent offensively, play strong defense against a backup quarterback. See if you might be able to steal one that not many people thought you'd be able to get Sunday in the Dome. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact, and be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.